Welcome back everybody to another video. I'm here with this 2010 Kia Rio. We're doing spark plugs and coils and the coil boots that come with the coil. So I'm going to take you through step by step, teach you everything you need to know, what tools you need, all that kind of stuff, so you can do this job yourself. And then hopefully you like, share, subscribe, and let's get right into this. Step one's going to be popping your hood, and then you're going to take the little stick that goes up here, you're going to put it down here in the fender. For some reason this engine has 3 of the wrong coils and 1 of the factory style coils, so just another reason, you know, to swap these out to have them match and be correct. Who knows what vehicle these came off of. Coils, as long as they plug in, they should just work, but you never know. Go into here and squeeze this clip and then pull. So you need to push down on this clip and then wiggle. Before you're able to disconnect this by pushing on the clip, it has a little safety. Slide the safety back. See that? Now you can push this down, wiggle, 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 and unplug. Set the wiring harness off to the side. You're going to need a 10mm socket to remove these coils. So just go through, undo all of these. This wiring harness is a tad in the way. So take all 4 bolts out. You will need to remove this wiring harness piece. There's a 10mm here, 10mm here, and a 10mm here. Remove all 3 of those. And then you can pull this harness out to get to the 2 bolts that are underneath. To remove the coils, I always like to give them a twist and a pull. These are obviously not the correct fit. This one down here is. Just give it a twist and a pull. And so that one, valve cover is leaking oil into the spark plug hole, which is no buenos, but pull them all out. We're going to throw those in the garbage. I'm using NGK coils. Part number is a U5073. This is what it looks like. These and the Denzos are pretty much like the factory replacement ones. So we're good to go. Spark plugs we're using are Autolite XP3923. They are iridiums and they are pre-gapped. You're going to need a ratchet, 6-inch extension, and a 5/8 spark plug socket. Just put it inside, get it where it locks in, and just give it a little tug, loosen it up. That one's pretty tight. Not quite sure why that one's so tight. Okay, that one came loose. Wow, all these are pretty tight. It's alright. We're going to put anti-seize on the new ones, so we should have no problem. Yura spark plugs. These are copper. Never even heard of Yura. Y-U-R-A. Never heard of it. But for the most part, the electrodes don't look too bad. Porcelain is very, very, very burnt. Except for the one that was pretty much covered in oil. The other 3 are pretty burnt. That is not rust, that's burnt porcelain. So it's a good time to change these. Grab your anti-seize and your spark plug here, and then I hold it against the spark plug, and I just sort of put like that on there. Now all we have to do is screw the thing in by hand. Don't ever screw it in with an impact or a ratchet, until you get it all the way down. Then you use a ratchet to tighten it, but just use the extension and your fingers to screw it as far down as possible first. For the next step, you're going to need some dielectric grease. It's a pretty simple, don't go overkill. So what I like to do is go around the lip, rub it in with my finger all the way around, sort of like that. Then I like to put a little bit here, just so I don't have any kind of stuck coils later in the future. I just coat the, very lightly. You don't need a lot. You just don't want the rubber getting hot and then sticking to something. Or there's a metal tube that this goes in that it could stick to, and then guess what? You can't get it out. And then you got to get super long needle nose and try to figure it out. We got the coil prepped. We got the spark plug in. Now we put it in. Should be up a little. Then you wiggle, 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 and push down until it's flush. And then we're gonna put the bolt in. Should be pretty easy to put in. And when you put the bolt in, it should hold it all the way to the bottom. And there should be no up and down wiggle. If there is, that means you have the wrong bolt. Like this one here is a different bolt from when they use these things. So I'm not quite sure if it's too long now. We're gonna find out here in a minute. But if you pulled off these coils and you're putting these coils on, you should not have a problem. I'm gonna put the rest of the coils back. I did end up having to get different hardware that was shorter. And now, look at that. I can put this harness back where it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna have to get 2 more bolts because this car only had 1 here. So I'm gonna grab 2 extra bolts and refit this so it fits correctly. Last step is to grab the wiring harness, lay it back where it goes, and hook them up one by one by just pushing them on. Gotta make sure the safety's off. Push it till it clicks, and then lock the safety. So you're going to put it, click, safety. At this point, you just push the wiring down so it fits nice and pretty. And that's it for this job. Hopefully this video helped you out, saved you some money, gave you some skills. Look out for some more videos in the future. I have one coming out every week, most of the time, unless something happens. But like, share, subscribe. Till next time, wrench on.